The advice and opinions expressed by the host of Autism Live and her guests are meant solely as suggestion and should not be in any way construed as child-specific advice. Any choices you make in determining your child's treatment are completely at your own discretion.
Good morning and welcome to Autism Live. I'm Shannon Penrod, and you picked a beautiful day to join us because I'm telling you, we're going to be talking about something today that if you're not already talking about it, you will. And we're going to be talking with a person that you're going to love getting to know. I'm talking about the star of the new show on PBS titled Patience. She is the self-titled character, Patience herself. And I'm talking about Ella Maisy Purvis. Oh, she is a powerhouse actress, authentically representing this character. This show is, okay, first of all, it's just really good storytelling. But second of all, they're doing a really good job of representing autism from a bunch of different angles. Oh my gosh, we all can be so proud of this show. So, and it's just good television too. So it plays on PBS, and the last episode of season 1 will air on PBS this coming Sunday. But you can catch up on the other episodes by going to PBS, and you can subscribe to the PBS Masterpiece channel, and then you can stream it all. I think there's even a 7-day free trial. Oof. Do it. You'll love it. I love my PBS Masterpiece. Anyway, she's going to be joining us in just a little while, and she is so incredible. You're just going to love her. Before we get to that, though, I want to welcome all of you. You know, we're premiering this show live, and so our fabulous Chris Desmond is showing you some of the different ways that you can connect with the show, some of the different ways that you can be writing in. We're live right now on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, plus a bunch of other places that he's showing you on the screen right now. We know that those of you who watch live, boy, we love the live interaction with you. But we also appreciate that the lion's share of you are listening in podcast, and we love that too. You're not left out of the conversation. You know, you can participate with us as well. You can always write to me if no other way and ask questions, and we will make sure that especially for this one, for Ella, if you have a question for her, we'd be happy to get it to her. So feel free to participate in that. My email is, as always, Shannon, SHANNON at autism, AUTISM. I know you guys know how to spell that, _live, LIVE.com. You can send me anything, including show ideas or guests that you would like to have us have on the show. We're thrilled to. I always say that, you know, I gave up mind reading to be my son's mom. So I don't make me read your mind. Tell me what you want to talk about, and we'll make sure that we find a way to do that if we can. I also want to say that for those of you listening in podcast, of course, you will get some ads. We're on every platform that we can possibly be. You know what they say, wherever you get your podcasts, that's where we are. But it will come with ads because it's a free download. If that is bugging you because you've got things that you need to do while you're listening to the podcast, there's a way to get it ad-free for a small monthly amount of $5. All you have to do is go to glow.fm/autism-live. The fun thing is that you not only get everything on Autism Live, but you also get everything on Ask Dr. Doreen for that same $5 price. Anytime we put out a new show, it shows up in your inbox, and woohoo, it doesn't have ads. So check that out. I also want to say that our mission here, as always, we're really getting started on season 15 here. 15 years of doing this show. And from the beginning, it has been our mission to provide information and inspiration to the autism community, the larger autism community. That starts with individuals who are themselves on the spectrum, whatever words they or you use to describe yourself. That's what we're interested in, whether you say autistic, on the spectrum, having autism, neurodiverse, neurodivergent, or other new words. We love all of you, and you are a part of you are the biggest part of the mission, right? But in our mission, we also include everyone who loves those individuals. because we think that together, you know what I say, si se puede, right? Together, those of us who love individuals on the spectrum and those of you on the spectrum, we can do just about anything. We are a big, beautiful group of people and we can accomplish a great deal, right? So I'm glad that you found us here, and I hope that you'll check out some of our other shows. But as I mentioned, we're going to be having this amazing actress who is the star of the show Patience joining us in just a couple of minutes. But before we get to that, we always like to do a jargon of the day. This is when we take one word, one phrase, one acronym, and we try to shed a little light on it, right? So today's term was handpicked because it's a term that comes up in the show Patience. It is hyperlexia. There is a moment in the show where Patience, the character, identifies as being hyperlexic. And it's a fun little moment. I have to say, the show is filled with all these little moments that you'll just love. But we thought we would take a second and give you a couple of definitions for it. You know, when we started 15 years ago, what we'd do is we'd give you a definition and then we'd make fun of it because it had words that nobody could possibly understand. Well, it's gotten better. Now, though, we like to show you the first one from AI Google to see if they're doing a good job. Let's check it out. So what does Google AI have to say about hyperlexia? Hyperlexia is a condition where a child's reading ability is significantly advanced for their age, often exceeding their comprehension and language skills. Okay, here's what I like about this definition. It's pretty accessible. We can figure out what it means. And I had seen another definition that just made me so fatoots because they referred to it as a disorder and it was making me mad, and I don't know technically if it should be called a disorder, but I don't like that. Because it is a skill set that can be built upon. Yes, does it necessarily mean that the comprehension is there? Okay, not in the beginning, but for someone to be able to access reading much earlier, I would like to look at this as a positive thing, not necessarily as a negative thing. Now, there's some asterisks with that. Let's take a look at what WebMD has to say about hyperlexia. Is when a child starts reading early and surprisingly beyond their expected ability. It's often accompanied by an obsessive interest in letters and numbers, which develops as an infant. Now, what I love about this one is that it gets into what the negative side of this could be. That when we see children that are hyperlexic, it is often that there is this perseveration, this obsession with letters and numbers, and that's all they want to do. Now, if you watch Ask Dr. Doreen gets excited when somebody writes in and tells us that their child is reading early and maybe even showing some obsession with letters and numbers, because if you're being diligent, if you're helping this child to learn and to cope and to gain comprehension alongside this really stunning ability that they have, the sky's the limit, right? It's only something that is potentially not good when you are letting the obsessive side of it just go and saying, I hope that will just magically stop. Right? Because while I guess that there's a possibility of that for some people, when we have obsessive behavior, it's usually coupled with anxiety. And we never want to take let's just hope they grow out of it attitude with any kind of anxiety, right? And for this skill to be able to read, I know people that their 4-year-olds could read the New York Times, really stunningly. Did they understand it? No. But with some help and support, giving them context, a few easy lessons, those kids began to understand what they were reading, and then you're jump started for life, right? But we don't just let the anxiety. Sometimes the perseveration is that they're so into the numbers and the letters that they will not focus on something else, to the point of not eating, not wanting to sleep, right? Things that can become unhealthy. So hyperlexia is a really good sign but it is not something to be left to its own devices. And we see in the show Patience that the character is utilizing their hyperlexia at a very high level that is helping them to be part of a team that's solving crimes. And I love that there are flashbacks that we get to see her dad and other people around her encouraging her and helping her with context. So pretty amazing. All right. So that's our jargon for today. We're going to take a short break, and then we are going to come back with the lovely and talented Ella Maisy Purvis, the star of Patience, and we're going to talk about it all with her. Make sure you're watching this show. You're going to love it. You're going to love her. All right, stick with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back, you guys. Boy, do we have a treat for you today. As I mentioned before, amazing new show that's airing on PBS here in the United States. In fact, the first season is 6 episodes. You've got an opportunity to hop on this Sunday and see the last of the episodes. I have to be honest with you, I subscribe to PBS Masterpiece because I never want to miss anything. And if you haven't done it before, now is the time to do it and catch up, because this show is hot, hot, hot. And it has a particular interest, I think, for all of us, which is why we are welcoming to the show an amazing young actress with lots of credits, but she is the star of this show, the self-titled role, Patience. Ella Maisy Purvis is joining us. I don't know if I'm allowed to say where you are, Ella.
I mean, sure.
Well, because is it okay to say that their season 2 is happening?
Yeah. It's been announced. We're rocking and rolling, baby.
Okay, so you're filming season 2, which is, you know how when you watch a show and you're really loving it, and then, you know, you're getting to the end and you have to wait to hear if there's going to be another season. So I was so thrilled to hear that there's a season 2. So this show is amazing, and you are just incredible in this show. I want to get to know you, and I want to get to know what this is like for you, because one of the things that I'm loving, the show is great, and the storytelling is sublime, first of all. But then there are all these little things that for those of us that love individuals on the spectrum, or those of you who are on the spectrum, it's just filled with wonderful Easter eggs of all different kinds. So let's wade in here, first of all. You are authentically representing this character. A lot of people don't understand what that means. And so I'm going to be rude and say that you're this really brilliant, talented actress. Graduated from Lambda. But,
say it again, louder.
Graduated from Lambda, and this is not your first television show. This is not, in fact, you've been nominated for awards. But I guess the question that everybody's going to be curious is, what words do you use to describe yourself in relation to autism?
Well, I mean, I'd say, usually if I introduce people and they ask, I just go, I'm neurodivergent. And they go, yeah, right. Well, that makes sense. But I'm autistic and I have ADHD. And then, probably a whole other list and can of worms. But I just, we've got the main one. So I'm okay with just those two. I don't want to add to the list. It's getting a little bit long.
Well, we hate that, because I think people love to identify, but with you, they want to identify with you. But I've noticed that even, for other actors, there's this whole idea that you are, if you're a really talented actress, which you are, they identify you as being like the character. But, that is not the case. You're an actress. You are not Patience. You are playing her beautifully and playing her authentically.
Well, you say that, but there is a siren outside and it's so annoying. That's exactly the type of thing that Patience would just go like this to.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Well, hopefully it
No, I
won't last
interrupted
long.
you.
No, it's okay. So that's great. So that's one way that you and patients are similar. I guess I'm wanting to hear, where are you not similar? What's the difference between you and patients? And maybe did you have to research anything to delve further into patients? It's okay.
Well, sorry about the sirens.
We can't hear it. We can't hear it at all.
Oh, perfect, because they're so
Yes.
loud. Oh,
I'm so
anyway,
sorry.
so I would say that where we're different is that patients like revels in solitude, and she's very insular and internal with kind of how she feels and how she processes things, whereas like I process things by speaking them and talking with people, interacting with people. And it's not that I don't get tired out by social interaction. It's just that I'm a thinker out louder, to a fault, whereas patience is a thinker not out louder. And I love, there's some, like when she goes to Bee's birthday party to the kind of noisy pub, like I love something like that. I love live music. I love like busy atmospheres and people and talking to people and connecting with everyone and going, wow, wow, wow. And, she isn't like that. And that kind of, for her, is really, really draining. And it is for me sometimes, but, I love a gig and I love a noisy pub and, people, I guess.
I love that for you. She is really into puzzles. And in fact, every episode sort of centers around at least one puzzle.
Yeah.
Which is deeply gratifying for me. I just love that.
Nice, isn't it? It's nice.
It really is. In fact, one of the puzzles in one of the episodes, we do a toy guide every year we give awards to toys in different age groups. And one of the puzzles that you had, the one that was the Reflect Inverse from Project Genius, the one that was all the different, it was like a Rubik's Cube. That was in our toy guide this last year.
In
what
our
a great
adult choice.
I know. And when I saw it, and listen, I can't solve it. It's
can you not?
No, I can't.
I can.
I love that. So you're good at puzzles too.
I'm spiteful and obsessive. So kind of I don't have the brain for puzzles and logic. I'm much more impulsive and kind of angry, but I had to solve the puzzle, so I was like, well, I'm obviously not going to do anything for 2 hours whilst I sit here and do it.
And you figured it out.
Yeah, I mean, there is a logic to it. Like, I remember my brother, he can solve Rubik's cubes in like under 10 seconds, and there's a pattern to it. So I did remember kind of what he was doing. But yeah, I mean, and also if I'm not good at something immediately, I'm trying something else, but because it was part of the job, I was like, I might give it a go.
I love that. Well, on that particular puzzle, I mentioned it's from Project Genius. I just want to let everybody know they also employ neurodivergent individuals. So check them out. Isn't that a wonderful thing? Don't you love that? And they have all kinds of funky Rubik's Cubes that are like Rubik's Cube-esque, but different, like that one. I love them. I love their stuff. Anyway, so I love the puzzle thing, but I got to say that I'm torn between, we should talk about the fact that it's a crime drama, that's what it is, and that you are playing a police archivist, but you've been raised to want to solve puzzles, including crime puzzles, and the storytelling is just brilliant. I have to say we're obsessed with what you're wearing too. Who's styling you? Whoever is styling you, it's like, it's giving Annie Hall. It's just, but updated.
Oh, that is the best thing that you could possibly say ever.
Well, good.
Thank you.
Well, so who's doing that? And are you involved in that or?
Well, it's our lovely, lovely costume designer team. And yeah, I mean, there was a very, like, there's a palette and there's a kind of a shape, and it was the sort of the high trousers, the high neck, and then the kind of the crop jacket. And so we just tried on so many different variations until we kind of had, however outfits we needed for all of the 8 episodes, and, what felt like comfortable and what fabrics were nice, because there were some fabrics that I put on, I was like, oh, you've got 2 minutes and then I'm going to start crying. Yeah. And I've just let you know, guys,
I love that you have that kind of agency on set. That's
well, it was given to me. That it was, when I read the scripts, they were so keen. The whole team, Matt Baker, the writer, was so keen to be like, and what did you think? And was this okay? And I was like, yeah, I mean, this is great. And what we talked about was that it's one person's experience. Like, if you've met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. This isn't a kind of, it's hard when there's such little representation, but it's not a speak for everyone kind of thing.
And yet, I have to say, I feel like there is something for everyone.
Yeah.
There's DIB, Laura Fraser, that for those of us who are parents, we're on the ride with her and identifying with that.
Yeah.
That you've got all the people in the support group.
Yeah.
But everybody has an opportunity to find somebody in the support group that feels like home to them. And then, not to give any spoilers, but you've got a young actor on set who is, all of these characters are being played authentically, which blew my mind.
Well, actually, I only found this out like a couple of weeks ago. So we film it in mostly Belgium. Mm-hmm. And so all of the essays supporting artists are Belgium. And in those scenes, they specifically got essays that were autistic. They're kind of, they don't have a speaking role. But they were like, yeah, no, we might as well. Why wouldn't you?
It's that kind of thinking that if we could get the rest of the world to understand how much it elevates the work. Yeah. And I know I saw an interview where you were talking about how sometimes that there is a fear-based response, that people don't do that. But what do you think was different for this group, that they sort of sidestepped the fear and went, oh?
I think kind of when you make a show called Patience, about patience, and, a really important part of her identity is that she's autistic, it would be really, really difficult to sidestep around it. And so if you're going to do it, do it. And kind of that's what they did. And also, I have it was a collaboration, and I just don't stop talking. So, there was just like loads of conversations and a lot of learning for me and for them, the others that aren't me, whoever they are. And it was just, it was a really lovely collaborative experience. So yeah, it was just an all in, because you can't really not all in.
But it just adds a whole other level to it that is so deeply appreciated and authentic and amazing and wonderful on all the levels, not just in the storytelling, but knowing that they've put their time and money and jobs where their mouth was, because we need more jobs.
And often people ask me about authentic casting. It's like, what do you think of it? And it's like, well, it's kind of, I've said before, it's not about the end product really for me. It's about, the producer that you employ that's autistic, or the lead actor, or the background extras in the scene, or the third AD, or just it's the building blocks that are the most important, and giving people from underrepresented groups who can't necessarily shout the loudest that kind of opportunity.
Yes. Well, we love it. We absolutely love it. And I think it does show up in the end product. I absolutely think that it does.
Well, yeah, I mean, sure, that's what you kind of hope.
Well, and it does. I think that it does that. It does that beautifully. But I want to shift gears a little bit for you as an actress. This is very mainstream. Is there any part of you that is concerned that in the future you're going to have a hard time convincing producers that you can play all kinds of roles?
Well, it's funny because when, so we started a new season and it's kind of sort of a different crew, and everyone having watched the first season that didn't know me was like, hello, how are you? You okay? Right. And, I'm sitting there like this, yes! It's so early, we're going to count zero, and so I kind of think that you just have to spend at least 2 minutes with me, and then you kind of do see that I'm not insular and kind of I'm very extroverted, but I think it is difficult, especially because it's such a stylized TV show. Like it's very Scandi noir, very particular, and so that I don't know, man. When I get another job, I'll let you know how hard it was to get.
I think your agents are probably great people, and I hope your agents/managers are looking for the next project that will just be so completely very different for you, the actress, because clearly you have all different kinds of levels that you can play, and I don't want you to get pigeonholed. I know the actors and actresses, because we're in LA. That's where we do the show. And we know a lot of actors that are authentically representing their autism in films and TV. And they're breaking down those barriers on a day-to-day basis, right? First to get the job to be authentically representing, and then to be able to get other jobs where they're not typecast just as that. So, I'm hoping that you won't encounter that. I'm hoping that
the next step is just to kind of play a role and, you're also autistic.
Right.
But, end goal.
I want to know, so you've talked a little bit about the atmosphere on the set. And it sounds like it got to a different place by the end of the first season. Hopefully you're going to get to that and you have already for season 2. Is there anything that was hard for you on the set that you maybe had to say, I got to pause for a minute because this is hard for me sensory wise, or this is hard for me for whatever reason?
I think because it was my big first job, a big first really long stretch of filming, I definitely underestimated kind of my support needs, maybe if that's the right word. But it was just, you're living out of a suitcase in a foreign country, and being with people in a language that you don't speak, and it was a real kind of, I already feel very, very different to most people, and then these people around you literally do not speak the same language as you. And so it was really disorientating, and there was kind of not a lot that I could sort of wrap my head around. And so I realized that I just needed really reminding of really basic things, like, have you had any water today? It's 3 p.m. Oh, no, I haven't. And just that extra kind of check-in and care that usually I'll just push through. Whereas, I kind of allowed myself on this job to be like, no, actually, I am feeling kind of really overwhelmed, and just allowing myself to just be overwhelmed, rather than usually if it's a 2-month filming thing, I'm like, right, I can get through this though. I can do it and it will all be fine. And I know that I can crash at the end of it. Whereas you can't do that when it's a 6-month shoot.
Right.
And so I think I just allowed myself to just be helped in kind of really normal ways.
So did you build in more support for yourself in season 2?
Yeah, I think also because I know we've all worked together before, and Martin, our director, love Martin. Shout out to Martin. We just have a better working relationship, and so I kind of don't even really need to say to him, he doesn't really need to ask, "Are you okay?" Usually, I'm just sitting under a table, and he's like, "Right, okay, cool. Well, let's have 2 minutes." Like it's not a prescriptive thing as much anymore. And everyone's lovely, and we all feel like really old friends, and it's just such a gorgeous atmosphere, which is you don't always get.
Well, and it's interesting because the show sort of depicts that, right? I mean, you've got this wonderful character, B, who has a vested interest in making a place for you that's personal and understanding what you need both for you and for other reasons. But then you've got other people on the team who are constantly second guessing, dragging you down, saying things that, we want to jump through the screen and throttle them. But they're slowly getting on board and realizing that you are a person that brings value to the team. But it's like every episode, the one character, the Jake Hunter, is he the one? That we have to remind him that, I feel like there's jealousy that he's afraid you're going to take his place. And I kind of want to take a frying pan upside his head.
Do you know, that's so funny you say that, because Nathan's one of my closest friends who plays Jake.
Well, he's doing a good job. He's doing a good job. Because it makes us mad, but then he gets it, and then we kind of want to hug him and hope. We have hope for him. But sometimes you got to play the bad guy. Yes, bless him.
Yeah, and I do. It's sort of nice to have. Well, it's nice to have a model in a workplace of how you can help a neurodivergent person, and it's also nice to show a positive working relationship. It's not all kind of really, really troubling and overwhelming. Like, we see her having breakthroughs and her connecting with this, senior police officer and actually giving her the time of day, which often, disabled people are invisible in society. Yes. So having someone far up the ladder nurture this young woman is, it's great. It's fantastic.
It's beautiful and meaningful to all of us in lots of different ways. It makes me cry every single episode. Because there's some moment where, we think the connection is going to deteriorate, but, one or both of you steps in, and the friendship and the working collaboration finds a way to survive and grow as a result of communicating, which is really, it is a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yeah. I want to talk a little bit about women on the spectrum and representation, because, we've had a little bit, but not like this. And this, I know you have said that she's not the poster child for autism, but, I think she's making some inroads. Are the first season is already aired in the UK. What are you hearing, especially from the women?
Why is she so tall?
They're offended by that, of all things.
No. Well, sorry.
No, it's okay. You filmed all day, you poor thing. We're not going to keep much longer, but you got to be tired.
I've been up for 15 hours. We're not going to keep
you much longer. You poor thing.
I'm having a lovely time.
I am too, but you need your rest.
So, I think it's fantastic, because a lot of the feedback is mainly from young women or mothers. And I think because there are two women at the center of the story, immediately there's just, you can identify with anything, autistic or not, because at the heart of it, she's also a young woman that like kind of doesn't really know what she's doing and is in like this new world, and she kind of likes this person but she doesn't know, and he's being rude, and you know, there like you said at the start, that there is something for everyone, but also just seeing an autistic woman be empathetic. I think that's the main thing that I've heard back, is like, oh my gosh, Patience is so empathetic, like I am, rather than a kind of an apathetic, like, I don't care, I don't really want to talk to you, I'm just going to do my own thing and build a train, which is fine, but kind of not the experience that most women can identify with who are autistic.
Exactly. And you mentioned that, you know, there's a love interest. And I love the proportion to the storytelling, that's not the be all end all, but I love that it's sparkled in there a little bit, which makes us happy. I love that early on we get to see a guy making an overture and it failing horribly at the bus stop. That was
my gosh, I know.
So brilliant on both sides of that scene. So brilliant. But then when she, you know, bumps into this other character, this, you know, medical examiner, boy, you guys really have the sparks flying. It's that, it's lovely, because I always say longing works better for romance than anything else. And we're really feeling the longing. We're seeing the sparks. It's really good. But of course, you know, we're hoping to see more. But I also have to give a shout out, Connor Curran as Billy.
Oh,
you know,
lovely Connor.
The relationship between the two of you is one of my favorite things.
Oh, I'm so glad you said that. I adore Connor, and I think he's fantastic. And again, another really, really close friend now. But yeah, it's like one of those unspoken things. Just like, you do not have to say, "Are you okay?" I know that you're not okay, and I know, because I know you, that I'm just gonna we'll go on a walk, or you know, we'll just be in each other's presence, or you know that I'm there and I don't need to send you a text. Like I think they're both like cats, you know.
Yeah.
They know.
And it's divine that level of actors. I mean, our audience, you'll probably remember him as being one of the first people to tour in The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Night, playing it authentically.
I didn't realize I actually saw Connor doing that. I remember I went to go and see it with my dad, and then I was thinking, he was like, "Oh yeah," because he's Scottish. I'm not going to do a Scottish accent. He was like, "Oh yeah, I was in Curious Incident." I was like, "When were you in Curious Incident?" He was like, "Oh, 2000 and I can't remember what it was." And I was like, "I saw you. That was yeah, that was me." And he was like,
"That's wonderful.
All right, okay, right,
full circle." Full circle. And the relationship in the two of you really is lovely. You know, I think I can speak for a lot of parents that we die to see individuals that are neurodivergent having friends, having that depicted, and friends that really show up for each other.
Yeah.
Ooh, we love that. And I think that, you know, all of the people that we love on the spectrum love that as well. So we have hopes for season 2. I know you can't give anything away, but how are you close to being done filming? Or
No. Because, you know, we've got 8 episodes this season. We've got much more to film and get done. And so right now we're in our big long stretch at the police station. So my first day in the police station was the other day, and we're cracking on. We're gonna do it. We're all really tired, but we're gonna do it, and it's gonna be fantastic. And we're so tired.
Are you filming by location or chronologically?
Yes. No, so never chronologically.
So you're doing all of the scenes. Oh, that's hard for an actor.
It is hard. It's also hard because I think one day I had about 8 costume changes, because we only had a certain location for like a day. So they were like, "Ellie, you got a costume change?" I was like, "Again? We've not finished the scene. It's the same. What's going on?" I'm like, "You need to change your shoes." I was like, Why?
Well, I always love the stories of Vivian Lee when she was doing Gone with the Wind, that she would always sit there and say, tell me the story up till this point so I know when I'm walking in, because they weren't filming chronologically. It's hard. That's a lot of perspective taking. Is that hard for you, or you just, if you can compartmentalize?
Do you know, I find I only know shooting out of order. So it works fine for me. And also, darling, I do my prep. So
yes. I mean, this is another thing that we hear over and over from the actors that are working and authentically representing, that you guys have the highest work ethic. I can say that across the board. And I know
lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure.
I'm sure, because you're representing for not just yourself, but you're making it possible for all the people who come after you to be able to get the job with no fear. But I appreciate that you are doing your prep, and you're a Lambda actor. Of course you would. How could you?
Oh, darling, I'm classically trained, darling.
Yes, and classical ballet as well.
Yes.
Well, that's evident too in the way that she moves, which is part of why the clothes look so good, because you have to do a lot of running here, running there, crouching on the ground, and you look great no matter what you're doing.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very kind.
And the physical embodiment of her is really divine. I'm sure you're hearing that from women, but it's sublime. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm running out of adjectives.
No, you can find some more, please.
Well, I guess my question is, when are you coming to the States?
I don't know. When are you free? Next week?
We'll take you anytime. If you come to Los Angeles, you have to let us know.
Will do.
So that we can arrange a little event for you, so that you can be loved upon.
Yes, because I don't know anyone in over the pond.
Well, we know some people. We would love to connect you.
Who?
Yes, that would be very, very fun.
Terrifying.
No. If you, we have a big fundraiser that we do for a great charity that's a Halloween party. If you happen to be here then, it's very Hollywood attended. Love to have you on our red carpet and have you at the party. But it's the Saturday before Halloween. It depends. I know you're a working actor. It's hard. You got to schedule around your work, but there are always events. We'd love to have you whenever you come. You are just a breath of fresh air. And this show is just stunning. I want to say to everybody again that the last episode of season 6 is airing this Sunday on PBS. But if you've missed the first 5 episodes, you really owe it to yourself. There's a way that you can stream them all, except the last episode, you have to wait till Sunday. But if you subscribe to PBS Masterpiece, I think they even have a 7-day free trial, you guys. So you could try it out. I happen to love my PBS Masterpiece. I can't get enough of it. But this was a surprise to me. I have to be honest that I'm not opposed to a crime drama, but it's not my first go-to. But this,
interesting.
I was like watching, and you had me hooked by minute 7, and I was like making.
I'll take minute 7. Nice.
Yeah. And then I said to my husband, who is a crime drama person, I was like, "Oh, you need to watch this," and it's his favorite show right now. So it's incredible. Yes. We love it. And so we need to make sure that the people over here in the U.S. are watching it and loving it as well, because it's very brilliant. That's so not eloquent. It's very brilliant.
It's very brilliant. You should watch it.
You should watch it.
Thanks, Shannon.
I have been telling everybody, oh, you got to watch this. It's the new hot thing, and it is. Oh. Anything else that you would like to say to people about the show, or about how you're portraying patients? Anything that we've left unsaid? It's a very open-ended question, but I want to give you an opportunity, if I haven't asked something that you'd like to say.
Well, I think I'd just like to reiterate that I am not that tall. I'm like, Laura's really, really short. She's really short. And it's not fair.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'9". That's a really normal height. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it is. It's a very normal height, and you look stunning. So
thank you. And that's a really vapid thing for me to put on the end of it. But I'd just like to say I'm not that tall. I'm not.
Well, I think that people who are focusing on that are jealous.
You're so right.
Right? Because everybody wants to be tall and
wants
svelte
to be
and
me.
gorgeous and have your beautiful blonde hair that just is flawless. I love seeing the pictures of you when you're not wearing the patient's cut, but the patient's cut is gorgeous. But I also love when you have it all spiked up too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different in season 2.
Okay.
It's because I accidentally, I cut all of it off. And then they were like, you do realize we're filming season 2 in like 4 months. I was like, it'll grow back. It'll grow back. It's not. It hasn't grown back.
Well, I can't wait to see what it looks like. When will season 2 air? I imagine it'll be first in the UK, but then when will it get to the US? Do we know yet?
The US, I assume next year around the same time.
Okay.
I think.
So when, I know it premiered in January in the UK. Are you planning on January in the UK again?
Yeah. I mean, don't shoot me. They tell me things and then they're like, why did you say that? And I go, well, you told me. You didn't tell me not to tell anyone.
Okay. Well, we don't know. Let's say that. We don't know. There are rumors. And we can't wait. It's absolutely wonderful. And I hope that the next time, listen, we want you to do season 3 too, but the next time it's coming out in the US, I think you need to come over here and do an in-person face tour.
Oh, I love that.
Right? And then, we'll be 2 small potatoes at that point, but you can, if you can drop in with us, we'd love that. And we will do an in-person thing with you if you come. So a little reception and have you meet a lot of people in the Hollywood community.
Wow.
Like a lot of the actors.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That'd be so much fun.
Okay. They will love you. We all love you. So amazing. And we love this cast. I want to do one more shout out to Maxwell playing Alfie. So adorable. Oh, and how much do I love your relationship with him and the way that you are helping his mother to see a future that she couldn't envision.
Yeah.
That is very special. I don't think we've seen that anywhere.
No, I would agree with you.
Well, it's remarkable. The writing is remarkable. Please tell the writers that we are loving on them.
I will do.
And obviously, Martin doing a great job, but you're the one that's bringing it home. So we thank you for all you're doing. It's really brilliant. All right. I'm going to let you go because you got more filming to do tomorrow. So you get your rest, woman. But thank you for doing this. We so appreciate it.
Thank you. This is lovely.
Well, all right. You take care. I'm going to sign off for everybody. Make sure that you're tuning in next week. We've got some great shows. Until then, give your kiddos a hug from me and one for you too. Bye-bye for now. If you found anything helpful in this video, please give us a like. In fact, make sure that you smash that subscribe button on YouTube and give us a like on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram for important updates. And please download our free podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Thank you so much. See you next time.